What's up, everybody? Two Piece Pod, episode 16. I'm your host, Patrick Parker. This episode is brought to you by Porterville Wholesale. You looking to get your house ready for the summer? I know you got people coming over. That's when people come over, and all the kids bring their families over, they're having fun. When you trying to get it ready, my boy Ray, go check him out over at Porterville Wholesale. He's going to take care of you. He's got all good liquidated items like hand tools, hand saws, all the good stuff you need. You can get your backyard ready, take care of that lawn with the lawn equipment he's got. I mean, turn it into a water conserving lawn, do something like that. Have fun with it. Get it ready for this summer though. Go check him out, 1902 West North Grand in Porterville, California. Or if you don't want to get out of bed, go search him on my Facebook page, my Facebook profile. You know what I mean? Go check him out on that group page too. You can go find him there. You can order online. Go check out his store. He's got a whole bunch of good stuff for y'all. So what's up? Today is a late one. A lot of you guys will probably listen to this on Saturday, and some of the stuff that will be on here will be out there for Saturday. But we got a lot of good stuff for you today. I'm going to hit you with that fun fact like always, on a Friday especially. Then Associated Press came out with a whole bunch of good stuff that I wanted to spit towards you guys, especially stuff like what happened with Miss Pac-Man, and, we got a research facility that should be environmentally sustainable, and then mortgage rates, Dave Chappelle. Then we'll hit up some of the insides on the Kern County, get that going. Then I got you a little bit of local sports, and then we'll let you guys get out of here and get on with your days. And thank you for listening in today. So let's start it off right. Fun fact of the day, Bakersfield is the 52nd largest city by population in the U.S. That's pretty big. It's larger than Honolulu, St. Louis, or Pittsburgh. Okay, that's, like I said, that's pretty big. That's just Bakersfield. It's also the 9th largest city by population in California, and it's ranked between Oakland and Anaheim, which also just kind of lets you know how big California is itself. Think about that. That's huge, man. There's a lot of cities out there, and especially out in the U.S. being the 52nd. I bet you couldn't even think about how many there are and count them, Take you too long. So Associated Press has hit me with a whole bunch of good news, and I'll tell you guys once I've changed over from them, but they wrote most of this, and they got different sections that are coming out of different areas. But it's all one big sub underneath Associated Press. So they also stated that in Pasadena, California, they have made progress in a Caltech University environmentally sustainable research center that will focus on solutions for things like water, food, energy, and waste. I think that's great. Right now, this is something that's been going on. It's the Resnick Sustainability Center, and it was started in 2019 thanks to a very nice gift from Stuart and Linda Resnick of $750 million. Obviously they had a smart idea, we do need help figuring something out with especially water. Food's going to get lower because no water. Energy will go lower. We have, power plants that are based off of water. And so not having that is going to be huge, and maybe they're going to figure out something with waste. I know they're, like we talked about earlier, they're trying to recycle the waste and turn it into water that's usable for humans. We got to figure something out. I hate to say that, but we got to figure it out. It's got to be somewhere, and they are trying to do something and everything they can in order to make this okay. I give them props for that, so let's go Pasadena, California, and Caltech, get that stuff going. I hope it gets up and running like it should be very soon. It gets us more energy. Think about it. We need energy. We need food. We need water. We need all this stuff to survive, guys. You know what I mean? So, and girls and everybody else, so just think about it like that. It's a major thing, and we're not thinking about it, I think, enough, to be honest with you. So, but on a good note, if you haven't heard of it yet lately, Mrs. Pac-Man has made it into the Video Game Hall of Fame. So good for her, The game was released in 1981 as as a sequel to her male counterpart Pac-Man and had started a worldwide movement for women to finally be acknowledged in the arcade. I mean, before this, it was kind of like, oh, it's a man's place to be. Go play some video games in the arcade. And don't get me wrong, not even man, but, boys and guys and stuff like that. So gender was and is now a big controversial subject, especially when you make one gender feel less than. So please don't. Everybody's equal, and that's what we want, and that's how you should see it. Is everybody's equal, and we're all under the same eye. This made women have a lot more place. This made women have more of a place when it came to who was in the arcade, and it was a huge step in the right direction for equality. Like I said, again, this was what I think, if I read right, this was like the first woman arcade game, and it kind of set a standard of all of a sudden like, oh shoot, this can happen. And maybe at the time it wasn't as much of a battle between everything as it is necessarily now because of the way everything was structured then, but it was a huge and just great step. I mean, I'm glad they did this, and it made things start rolling in the right direction, especially for women, you know what I mean? So I'm glad for that. Something else we got to think of, and especially right now, a lot of people are looking into doing this, but mortgage rates are still continuing to climb, the highest they've been since 2009. I don't know. I mean, they're at a 5.27, around that number. That's what they're kind of sticking around, or at least building up or down a little bit from. So the number last year was 2.96. That was the average last year. So the Federal's preserved gauge, like the gauge they used to check for inflation, was up 6.6% last month. And some of this is due to the Ukraine war, and it's affecting with a high gas prices and food prices. So this isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And inflation is huge. I mean, it look at everything around you. Look at all the prices around you, and look at how much they're charging you now compared to even just last year or even, like 4 months ago. It's just everything is rising and quickly, and you're soon here not going to be able to keep up with it just with the wages you've got if you've got low wages that you bring in every month. So just be prepared. I mean, start saving up now. It's got to happen. You got to keep going, and I hope they figure something out soon so that we all, don't go into a big recession, because that's the way it'll go. And I don't know if our economy can really take it, I don't know how fragile it is right now. So the man who attacked Dave Chappelle at his Netflix's joke tour is not being charged with any kind of felony. Might be charged with misdemeanor. Not 100% sure. So I guess the LA District Attorney Office had said that, yes, this is criminal activity, but no, this doesn't constitute as a felony. I mean, the guy was carrying a replica handgun with a knife in it, trying to attack a celebrity. I mean, I don't know. I don't technically know how you guys feel about it, but at the same time, the way I feel about it is something was off there. And I guess if you didn't have intent to use it, but I don't know, you're attacking somebody with a weapon in hand. I mean, it technically, I would feel like almost constitute as, yeah, you were trying to use it. It's a hard one to think of, like, yeah, because if you were just to get into a fight and you had a weapon on you and you're like, I didn't want to use it because he didn't have a weapon or she didn't have a weapon, so I wasn't going to use mine. It's just a sticky subject, but I feel like there should be a little bit more than just a slap on the wrist for the guy. I just don't know how much more, because it's very, again, it's an argument, but give him, I mean, it is a violent offense. You're really trying to hurt somebody, and you're doing it on live TV. But then again, you see stuff like somebody else getting assaulted, like Chris Rock getting assaulted on live TV. And I guess he made that joke about it. But I mean, who knows? Maybe it doesn't constitute a felony. Maybe he just I don't know. Maybe he's just angry at him. I guess you got to figure out why he did it first in order to really realize what was going on. So maybe it shouldn't be. It just makes me think even more now about it. But yeah, I mean, I guess I understand it not being much of a felony. Keep it as a misdemeanor, but at least make it something to where it's like, hey, you understand what you did. That's what I would say. So going into the local news now, we got 23 ABC's Mike Hart reporting that this weekend Disney on Ice will be at the Mechanics Bank Arena. So go get some tickets. I don't know exactly when it is. They didn't give me much info on it, and I was kind of like reading through it real quick. But I thought it's something cool. I don't think I went to it as a young kid. I'm pretty sure actually I almost guaranteed 100% I did. So, and it was something nice. I mean, it was stuff like that my grandma used to take me to, my noni, and she used to do little things like that. That was her way of doing things. She was like, she was my movie goer and my show goer. She used to take me to something like, it was like river dancing, and that was pretty dope. It's almost like it's like a tap dancing, but with like all this movement together. It's just dope. You'd have to check it out. That stuff is cool. Being that organized in a group is pretty amazing, but I guess that's, what they got to do. So just remember this too. Gas prices have dropped a little bit from the highs we have been seeing recently, but also they are up more than $1 than last year. So if you're going to drive and you got the money to do it, go ahead, have fun, be safe, but if not, man, I feel you. BPD and KCSO are also being investigated by the DOJ. This isn't supposed to be an investigation on trying to tell them like, hey, you're doing everything wrong, supposedly. But at the same time, this is an investigation to show that, hey, law enforcement necessarily isn't doing as great maybe as we think they are. You know what I mean? And they are willing to try and improve, hopefully. And as far as I've been reading, KCSO has been more than willing to say, hey, what is it that we can get better at, and trying to improve everything they can for Kern County. And I'm glad to hear that. So this is also a way, I guess, for the community to feel better about taking action and coming to somebody and them being able to help put our plans into action and further down the road and taking that next step. So I guess they're trying to sit here and cover things like use of force, stop seizures and searches, responding to and interacting with people with behavioral health disparities or crises, management, and language access and community policing. I mean, this is some good stuff if they can really work on it, if they can really start doing what it is that they say they want to do to start helping out Kern County. I guess it's another, I'll believe it when I see it. It's very hard to just full on think about, hey, this is okay, and that I'm not going to sit here and think that it might just go back to what it was before. I guess you got to think about it like this. And again, this is how you got to think about everything technically, and no, you don't. But this is how I think about everything technically, is what I should say. And everybody is different, and not everybody is going to be good, and not everybody has the same mentality or drive or passion or whatever it is that you're going to have toward whatever it is or whatever it is that you want to do. You know what I mean? So I know I said that twice, but just remember that, and remember that you can only do what you can, and you should only focus on what you can when you can. Okay? A lot of times, again, things are going to happen quick. So for a job like that, you really need to be on your toes at all times. Now to jump into some local sports real quick. Condors have defeated the Abbotsford Canucks and are moving to the semifinal round to face the number 1 seed Stockton Heat. Games are going to be played. Games are going to be played May 10th and May 11th in Stockton, and then May 13th here in Bakersfield. And if more games are needed or necessary, they're going to be seeing as how it's a best of 5. We will have one more game in Bakersfield and then finish it off in Stockton. So hopefully we can jump into, going to the finals and whatnot. This is going to be a tough one. Condors are ranked number 4. Like I said, they're going up against the ranked number 1. I want them to do good, just like I hope you guys want them to do good. Let's cheer them on. Let's get it going. So thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode. I wouldn't be here without all you guys' support, by the way. So thank you for that as well. Just make sure that everybody that is listening, you go follow, like, and subscribe. Tonight's a little shorter. A lot of stuff going on today. There's a lot of stuff going on around. I'm excited to tell you guys pretty soon, so we'll jump into that. But remember, you can find me over at my Facebook page and my Facebook group. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or I put up a website, twopeacepod.com. It's TWOPSPOD.com. Go search it up. You can find everything right there. Don't worry about it. I'm right there. Again, this episode is brought to you by Porterville Wholesale. If you're looking to get your house ready, they got all the good home improvement stuff over there, all right? If you want hand tools, handguns, nail guns, you know what I mean? Handguns. I always say that I get those mixed up. If you want hand tools and nail guns and impact drills, hand drills, regular drills, whatever they are, and then you want hand saws, if you want that good stuff, go get that Craftsman, DeWalt, Milwaukee, all the good goods over there, all right? They got it up. Go check my Facebook page, my Facebook group, all that good stuff. 1902 West North Grand in Porterville, California. That's where he's at. My boy Ray's going to take care of you. Tell him 2 Piece sent you. Check it out. Thank you guys. Hey, you guys have a wonderful night. I'm going to be with you guys again. I got a guy coming out Monday. It's going to be my boy Richard Van Horn. He is a engineer over at BFL1. That's Amazon's Bakersfield location. So go check out what he has to say. He takes care of a lot over there. He's pretty good over there. He's been a longtime friend. I've known him over 20 years. So check him out. You guys have a wonderful night, man. Peace.